Okay, welcome students. So this is the second video for the chapter human reproduction, and today we will discuss spermatogenesis. Okay, so in this session we are going to discuss spermatogenesis, and its hormonal control. So how the entire process is controlled by the hormones. Okay, so spermatogenesis and its hormonal control. So that is the topic of discussion today. So the process of formation of sperms from the immature germ cells, that is spermatogonia, is known as spermatogenesis. Okay, so the process of formation of sperms, simply the process of formation of sperms, okay, it is known as spermatogenesis. So where from it is formed? The immature germ cells, that is spermatogonia, they are ultimately transformed through a series of events into mature sperms. Now it occurs in the seminiferous tubules. Where does it occur? You will remember it occurs in the seminiferous tubules within the testis. Okay, seminiferous tubules of the testis. Okay. Now, it starts at the age of puberty. So, spermatogenesis, it starts at the age of puberty due to significant increase in the secretion of GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. It is released from the hypothalamus. Okay, gonadotropin releasing hormone. So secretion of GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone, increases significantly at puberty. Okay, and this finally results in onset of spermatogenesis within the seminiferous tubules of testes. So GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone, it acts on pituitary gland. So gonadotropin releasing hormone, it is produced in the hypothalamus, which is located in the brain. Pituitary is also located in the brain. So the GnRH acts on pituitary gland and stimulates the secretion of two gonadotropins. Number one, luteinizing hormone, in short LH, and second, follicle stimulating hormone, that is the FSH. LH is also known as ICSH, interstitial cells stimulating hormone. Interstitial cells, where are they present? They are present between the seminiferous tubules. This is the location of the interstitial cells of lady. Okay, and this is the seminiferous tubule. So spermatogenesis occurs within the seminiferous tubules. Okay, now so two hormones, that is gonadotropins. Gonadotropins means which will act on the gonads. Okay, two gonadotropins you can see here. That means the hormones which will act on the gonads. Which are the gonads in male? In males, the gonads, that the testis. So the number one hormone, it is the LH, and second is the FSH, that is the follicle stimulating hormone. LH, it is also known as ICSH, that is interstitial cells stimulating hormone. It acts on Leydig cells and stimulates synthesis and secretion of androgens. Okay, so Leydig cells, what are the function? Function of Leydig cells, okay, stimulates the synthesis. So synthesis and secretion, this is the function of Leydig cells. Synthesis and secretion is an endocrine part of the testis of androgens. The principal androgen being testosterone. So it is one of the examples. It is the main male hormone. Now FSH acts on Sertoli cells. FSH acts on Sertoli cells, which secretes some factors that are needed for spermatogenesis. So what are these two factors? Number one, ABP, androgen binding proteins, and number two, inhibin. So I have written the name within the bracket because it is not mentioned in your NCERT book. So FSH acts on Sertoli cells, LH acts on the Leydig cells. Leydig cells produce testosterone and Sertoli cells. FSH acts on Sertoli cells which produce certain factors that are required for spermatogenesis. If we wish to remember the names, then ABP, androgen binding protein, and second is inhibin. ABP, it concentrates testosterone. I have marked it with asterisk because it's not given in NCERT. And inhibin, it suppresses FSH synthesis. Okay. Now testosterone, it helps in there's the function of testosterone. Okay, testosterone helps in the growth of secondary sex organs and glands. Okay, glands and development of secondary sexual characters besides spermatogenesis. So number 1, growth of secondary sex organs and glands. Number 2, second function, development of secondary sexual characters. Okay, secondary sexual characters means development of beards, pubic hair, okay, deep voice, broad shoulders, etc. Besides, it also helps in third, spermatogenesis. Okay, so testosterone, three functions. Okay, now coming to spermatogenesis. Okay, so this is the flow chart of spermatogenesis. All of you will remember the flow chart. Okay, so here, now in this diagram, come back to this diagram. This is a seminiferous tubule. Then this is the basement membrane. Only lines are there. You can see it's a thick line. Okay, thick structure. Then this is the germinal epithelium. Okay. Now from the germinal epithelium, first what happens? Spermatogonia are formed. Two types of spermatogonia are formed. Spermatogonia A and spermatogonia B. Spermatogonia keeps on dividing. A, it keeps on dividing. And spermatogonia, it enters the process of sperm formation. So that part is not mentioned in your book. Okay. So here, now you can see here the detail. This is the basement membrane. This the diagram is exposed here. Magnified diagram. This the part is magnified. This is the Sertoli cell. Okay. This is the Sertoli cell. This is the basement membrane. This is the germinal epithelium. So that is made up of cuboidal cells. In the diagram you can see cube-like structures here. So this is the germinal epithelium. Now germinal epithelium, what happens? The cells of the germinal epithelium, they undergo repeated mitotic divisions. Okay, they undergo repeated mitotic divisions and form spermatogonium. The cells that are formed, we call them as spermatogonium. Then the spermatogonium, now here the cells of the germinal epithelium, that's a 2n, that is 46. Spermatogonium is also 2n, that is formed by mitosis. So this is also 2n, that's the 2n. Primary spermatocyte, this is also 2n. Okay. Secondary spermatocyte N, then N and N. Okay, so that's the N. Now here if okay, now so let us come here. So here spermatogenesis, you can see the flow chart. So in the flow chart there is a germinal epithelium. Okay, so the cells of the germinal epithelium, they act as the germ cells, and the germ cells, they produce spermatogonia. So here you can see from germinal epithelial cells, the germ cells, primordial germ cells. Okay, spermatogonia are produced by repeated mitosis. So this spermatogonia, I told you that spermatogonia are of two types, A type and B type. A type spermatogonia, they keep on dividing repeatedly and produce more number of spermatogonia, whereas the B type spermatogonia, they differentiate. They differentiate and form primary spermatocytes. Okay, then primary spermatocytes undergo first meiotic division. Primary spermatocytes, they undergo first meiotic division and form secondary spermatocytes. So each primary spermatocyte after meiosis 1 produce 2 secondary spermatocytes. The secondary spermatocytes, then they undergo second meiotic division and produce 4 spermatids. These are 4 spermatids. The spermatids undergo differentiation and form spermatozoa. Okay, this is they form. So from one primary spermatocyte, 4 spermatozoa are formed. Okay, so the steps we have already discussed. Thank you. Okay, so here are some important points about spermatogenesis. Now, spermatogenesis has 2 major steps. Number 1, formation of spermatids, and number 2, spermiogenesis. Okay, so that fine. So this term is given in your book. Now, formation of spermatids. Formation of spermatids, here you have 3. Okay, 3 steps. Number 1 is the multiplication phase. So multiplication phase, this term is not given in your book, however the description is there. So what happens here? Undifferentiated primordial germ cells divide repeatedly by mitosis to produce large number of spermatogonia. These are 2n. So here, these are undifferentiated and they divide repeatedly and form the differentiated one. Okay, so this is undifferentiated. Then they divide and form large number of spermatogonia. Then second is the growth phase. It is also known as spermatocytogenesis. So the terms are not given. So here I have put crosses here. You can see the cross. Okay, all the terms which are not there, I have struck it off. Just put a cross by putting a cross. Then, so growth phase, also known as spermatocytogenesis. In this phase, spermatogonia form or differentiate into primary spermatocytes. So that's a 2n. Then third, maturation phase. Primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis. Okay, primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis to form 4 spermatids. So primary spermatocyte. So first meiosis, 2 secondary spermatocyte. This is the one. Then here 2. And here 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then the last phase, this is the next one. Here they form okay. So maturation phase, primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis, remember, to form 4 spermatids. These are haploid. Then next is the second step is spermiogenesis. It is given in NCERT book. Spermiogenesis, the formation of spermatozoa from spermatids. Okay, it is known as spermiogenesis. This step is called spermiogenesis. So spermatogenesis is there, but this is not given in your NCERT book. Now after spermiogenesis, what happens? The sperm heads become embedded in the Sertoli cells. So before that we discussed that Sertoli cells, they provide nutrition to the developing spermatozoa. Okay, so the spermatozoa, what happens? After spermiogenesis, right? So when spermatozoa are formed, they are still growing. So their sperms, their heads get embedded in the Sertoli cells and they withdraw nutrition. Then the next, once they are formed, completely formed, then the next stage is known as spermiation. The release of sperms from seminiferous tubules is known as spermiation. So you will remember this. Okay, spermiogenesis. Okay, spermiogenesis, the definition you will remember, and spermiation also you will remember the definition. So spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis. The differences are here. I have given a table. It is the process of formation of haploid sperms from undifferentiated diploid primordial germ cells of the testes. It is the formation of spermatids into spermatozoa. It involves multiplication, growth, maturation and differentiation phases. Okay, so there is multiplication, divisions, maturation, etc. Here it involves only differentiation. Okay, neither mitosis nor meiosis, nothing, only differentiation. Then spermatogonium produces 4 spermatozoa. Okay, finally a spermatogonium will lead to the formation of 4 spermatozoa in spermatogenesis, whereas in spermiogenesis one spermatid develops into one spermatozoon. Okay, now function of the male reproductive system: spermatogenesis, that is the formation of sperms. Then male sex hormones, secretion of male sex hormones, example testosterone, and transfer of sperms. So copulatory organ, that is penis, transfers sperms into the vagina of the female during copulation. Okay, now next we come to the structure of a sperm. Okay, so this is the diagram of a sperm. So here you can see this diagram. All of you must practice this diagram. This is a very, very, very important diagram. Almost every alternate year you get this diagram. Okay, so now here the structure of a sperm, you can see these are the parts. So this is the head. From here, this much is the head. This short part, there is a small region. Okay, this is the neck. Okay, this is the neck. Then this is the middle piece and this is the tail. So 4 parts. Okay, so a typical mammalian sperm consists of the following 4 parts. Okay, number 1, a head. Then second is the neck. Then there is the middle piece and tail. So this from here to here is the head. This short part, this is the neck. This is the middle piece. Okay, this is the middle piece. I'll mark it. Head. From here up to here. This much is the head. This part is the head. Then this part is the neck. And then this is the middle piece. This is the middle piece. This is the middle piece and then this is the tail. The fourth one is the tail. Okay. So now the whole body of the sperm is covered by plasma membrane. The entire sperm, you can see this line. Okay, it is continuous throughout the sperm except at the end. So this is the axial filament. It is naked at the end. Axial filament of the tail is naked at the tail. Okay, so the whole body of the sperm is covered by plasma membrane except the end piece. Okay, except the end piece. Okay, except the end piece. Now coming to the sperm head. Sperm head, again you have 2 parts here. This is the region. Here you find this is the nucleus, there is the DNA, and on the anterior side there is a cap-like structure which we call as the acrosome. Acrosome is formed from Golgi bodies and it secretes sperm lysins, enzymes known as sperm lysins, which helps in fertilization. And this part is the nucleus. Cytoplasm is absent. Now, sperm head, it contains an elongated haploid nucleus. The nucleus is haploid. The anterior part of the head is covered by a cap-like structure called acrosome. It is formed from Golgi body. It contains enzymes, the sperm lysins. Sperm lysins help in fertilization of ovum. Then second is the neck part. It connects the head with the middle piece. It contains a pair of centrioles which helps in first cleavage. That's the first division of the zygote. After fertilization, the zygote is formed and the first division of the zygote. Okay, for that this is required. Okay, the cleavage. So a pair of centriole which is required for first cleavage division of the zygote, and the second centriole, it gives rise to axial filament of the sperm. There is the axial filament in the center. Okay, so a pair of centrioles are there, the proximal centriole and distal centriole. Okay, proximal near the head and distal away from the head. So this one is for first cleavage of the zygote, and this one, the second centriole, it forms the axial filament. Then middle piece contains large number of mitochondria. You can see here large number of mitochondria. They provide energy for movement of the sperm. Okay, they provide energy for the movement of the sperm. Then the tail, that's the fourth part. It is a long thin structure whose central part is called the axial filament. It is surrounded by a thin cytoplasm. Okay, a thin cytoplasm is there. Okay, and then there is the plasma membrane. So that's the structure of the sperm. Now for fertility, okay, what happens during coitus? During coitus, 200 to 300 million sperms are released during coitus, that is mating, into the female reproductive tract. How many? 200 to 300 million sperms are released into the female reproductive tract at the time of mating. Now out of that, at least 60% must have normal shape and size for fertility, and 40% must have vigorous mobility to ensure fertilization. Okay, so 40% must move rapidly and 60% must have normal shape and size for fertility. The posterior half of the nucleus, neck and middle piece is covered by a sheath called manchet. This part, okay, is covered by this layer is known as the manchet. Okay, so that is, it is not given in your NCERT book. Okay, so that is about the male reproductive system. Now hormonal control you have already seen. Now this is the flow chart for hormonal regulation of the male, hormonal control of male reproductive system. So hypothalamus in the brain, it produces, so at the time of puberty, GnRH secretion increases significantly. Okay, so the hypothalamus, it is in the brain. Okay, this is in the brain. This is also in the brain, pituitary. So at puberty, GnRH secretion increases significantly and it acts on the pituitary gland, anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Now from pituitary gland, two tropic hormones are secreted. One is LH, also known as ICSH. This is also known as ICSH, and second is the FSH. Luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. We also call it as interstitial cells stimulating hormone. Now LH, it acts on Leydig cells. Where are Leydig cells present? Leydig cells are present between the seminiferous tubules. From there, testosterone. Okay, Leydig cells, they secrete testosterone, and testosterone, they help in development of secondary sex organs, accessory glands, secondary sexual characters, then helps in spermatogenesis, and FSH acts on Sertoli cells and it produces, that is ABP. It's not given, written here. Okay, so it's a ABP with testosterone. It concentrates testosterone and helps in spermatogenesis. And second is inhibin. Okay, inhibin, it inhibition of GnRH and FSH secretion. This is